Hello friends, welcome to Department of Plant Pathology, KDSP Agriculture College Nasik. In previous lecture, we have studied all the diseases of pea, their causal organisms, their symptomatology and their management. Today, we are going to see the diseases of cotton and their management. That first one is bacterial blight of cotton. It is also called as angular leaf spot of cotton or black arm of cotton. This is one of the bacterial disease and caused due to Xanthomonas axonopodis pathover malvacearum. This disease was first time observed in Tamil Nadu in 1918. It is an important disease in Maharashtra, Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu and Madhya Pradesh. That means all major cotton growing regions of India were severely infected due to the attack of this bacterial disease, that is bacterial blight. And it comes under the classification under Gramma Proteobacteria class, and order is Xanthomonadales and family is Xanthomonaceae. So genus is Xanthomonas and species is Axonopodis. This bacteria produces so many types of symptoms. We will see one by one in detail. First we will see the seedling blight symptom. The bacterium attack all stages from seed to harvest. Usually 5 common phases of these symptoms were observed in bacterial blight of cotton. In seedling blight, small water-soaked circular or irregular lesions were developed on leaves, and it also develops on cotyledons. As you can see in the image, there is the water-soaked regions were developed due to the infection of this bacteria. In later phase, the infection spread to stem through petiole and causes withering and death of the seedlings. That's why it is called as seedling blight symptoms. Another symptom is angular leaf spot symptom. In angular leaf spot, small dark green water soaked areas were developed on lower surface of leaves, and it enlarges gradually and become angular when restricted by the veins and veinlets, and spots are visible on both surface of the leaves. As the lesions become older, they turn to reddish brown color and infection spread to the veins and veinlets. So these are all the symptoms of angular leaf spot, and their shape are angular due to the restriction by these veins and veinlets. So next is vein blight or vein necrosis symptom. In vein necrosis, the infection of vein causes blackening of the veins and veinlets, giving a typical blighted appearance. On the lower surface of leaves, bacterial ooze are formed as a crust or scales. The affected leaves become crinkled and twisted inward and show withering. The infection also spread from veins to petioles and causes blighting, leading to the defoliation of all the leaves. So you can see the symptoms in this image. There is bacterial ooze were also formed due to this bacterial infection. Another type of symptom is black arm of cotton. This is well known symptom, and you can easily identify the symptoms of this black arm. On the stem and fruiting branches, dark brown to black lesions were developed, which may girdle the stem and branches to causes premature drooping off of all the leaves and cracking of the stem and gummosis, resulting in the breaking of the stem, which hangs typically as a dry black twig to give a characteristic black arm appearance. That's why it is called as black arm of cotton. The next type of symptom is square rot or ball rot. That means it causes infection to all balls of the plants. On balls, water-soaked lesions will appear, as we have seen in case of leaf infection, and in later phase it turned to dark brown or dark black color and showing sunken regions and in irregular spots. The infection slowly spread to entire ball and shedding occurs. So you can judge the severity of this disease. If all the shedding of balls occurs, the yield contributing character of cotton is balls, and there is no cotton formation occur without these balls. In some cases, the infection on mature balls leads to premature bursting of all the balls. the bacterium spread inside the balls and lint gets stained yellow colored due to the because that means yellow colored causes due to the bacterial ooze present inside the cells, and it loses its appearance and market value, also damaged due to the infection by this bacterium. The pathogen also infect the seeds and causes reduction in the size and viability of the seeds. These are the microscopic structures of this bacterium, and in the first image you can see the bacterial growth inside the petri plate showing yellowish colored growth. The bacterium is a short rod shape with single polar flagellum its character. It is a gram-negative bacteria, non-spore forming, and its size measures from 1 to 1.2 into 0.7 to 0.9 micron meter. The bacterium is aerobic, capsule forming, and produces yellow colonies in culture medium due to the xanthomonadin pigments. This bacteria survives on infected dried plants and plant debris inside the soil for several years. The bacterium is also seed-borne and remains in the form of slimy mass of fuse of seed coat. It multiplies soon after the seed is sown and infects the seedlings through the micropyle. Volunteer plants that arise from the balls falling off prematurely also provide a source of primary infection. The bacterium also attack other hosts like Turbaria, Thiopsoides, Iridiodendron, Africtosum, and Jatropha curcus. These are some another hosts on which this bacterium can survive. The primary source of infection is mainly from seed. That means this bacterium is seed-borne bacterium, and the secondary spread of this bacteria may be through wind or wind-borne rain splashes, irrigation water, irrigation channel, insects, and other infected tools and implements. These are the channels from this bacteria can migrate from infected field to healthy field. This bacterium having special character, that means the bacterium enters into the plant system through natural openings or maybe through insect caused wounds. Optimum soil temperature, that is 28 degrees Celsius, is favorable for development of this bacterial disease. Similarly, high atmospheric temperature and relative humidity, that is more than 85%, is very favorable for development of this disease. Now we will see the management of this bacterial blight of cotton. Bacterial blight of cotton is most serious problem in Vidarbha region and major cotton growing regions of India. So for controlling this disease, we have to apply all integrated disease management practices. In that, first is removal and destruction of infected plant debris. As I told, this bacterium survives inside the infected plant debris and foliar fallen leaves up to the next season. So this bacterial life cycle continues in that manner. So we have to collect and destroy all the infected plant debris outside the field. Then rogue out all the volunteer cotton plants and weed host. These serves as a reservoir host for the inoculum, so that such plants should be rogue out and destroyed outside. Then crop rotation should be, if you grow the cotton in the current year, then in the next year you have to change the cropping pattern. You may grow cereals or you may grow pulses to break the life cycle of this pathogen. Similarly, early thinning, good tillage, early irrigation, early earthing up, and addition of potash fertilizer to the soil reduces somewhat how inoculum inside in the field. Similarly, you can also grow the resistant varieties like SG9, BGA 592, G27, Sujata 1412, CRH71, and Suvin, which are found resistance against this bacterial blight of cotton. The next treatment is delinting of the cotton seeds with concentrated sulfuric acid at the rate of 125 ml per kg of the seed is found very effective for controlling this disease. Then the next important point of this management is treatment of these seeds with carboxin at the rate of 2 gram per kg, which help in controlling this disease. Similarly, this is a bacterial disease, and for this bacteria we have to apply antibiotics like streptomycin sulfate and copper oxychloride. These are some antibiotics you can use for spraying purpose at the rate of 500 ppm. Streptomycin sulfate should be used as a 0.3 to 0.5 gram per liter dose, and copper oxychloride at the rate of 1.5 to 2 gram per liter dose. So in that way we can manage this disease by spraying such antibiotics and some antifungal compounds like copper oxychloride. Thanks for watching this video. In next lecture we will cover another disease of cotton. Thank you.